Hey everyone, Corey Sales here, coming to you from Las Vegas. Now, it doesn't look like I'm in Las Vegas, but I assure you I am. I'm not in the Strip District, obviously, as you can tell. I actually decided to get away from all that chaos and see other areas that Vegas has to offer. It's my first time here. I spent the weekend on the Strip District, with all the big hotels and casinos and all that. And I'm not really about that life. It was neat to check out just for a couple days, but I wanted to see what else Vegas has to offer, and decided to take a hike at Red Rock National Park, as you can see. And my trail ended up going off course, and I ended up climbing all the way to the very top of one of the red rocks here, and just wanted to take this time to shoot a video and share with you, a couple thoughts that came to mind throughout my journey up here. So obviously I'm in the desert right now, and it gets pretty hot here. Started pretty early, around 7ish, and my goal is to be out before noon. It's about 10ish now, so I got a couple hours to make it back. And the red rocks were calling my name. There's plenty of trails here, but I wanted to check these out up close and personal, and decided to make my way up. Like some of us decide to take that step and make our way up the ladder of success. And that could be success with your business, spiritual success, personal success, whatever. It takes work and effort, just like it did for me to climb to the top of here. Now, I'll admit there are times that I wanted to give up and turn around, make my way back, or stay on the path, stay on the trail. Things were getting hot. Elevation was getting high, more difficult to breathe. However, I knew that I wouldn't have been content or satisfied, because I know that I wanted to get to the top. I wanted to make it to the top and see what's on the other side, and see the view from up here looking down below. And thinking about that, you can apply the same way to the ladder of success. Although I had that feeling, like I'm sure that most do as well, I kept pushing and I kept climbing, and now I'm finally on the top. And I think that's what separates some individuals from the majority, from the rest of the pack. As you can see down there, all their vehicles parked, sitting down at the very bottom. I've been up here for about 20-30 minutes now, and I'm the only one up here. Obviously I'm not the first one up here. You can see all the tags on the rock, nor will I be the last one. However, I'm the only one right now. And that's my message to you, is that if you want to make it to the top in whatever you're doing, your business, your spiritual goals, your personal goals, school maybe even, you have to separate away from the masses sometimes, away from the pre-made trails and destinations, and take your own path, the path that's less traveled by. And obviously there's no path up here. I had to freaking climb these rocks. I don't know how the heck I'm gonna get down, but I'm enjoying it up here. I'm enjoying it at the top. It's nice up here. It's not crowded. Definitely not as crowded as the Strip where everyone else is, you know. And my message to you is to separate yourself. Keep climbing. If you get knocked down, don't throw in the towel. You're probably 3 feet from gold, as Napoleon Hill's reference would be. People are so close to that success. I'm sure that I've encountered it multiple times in my life, and I threw in the towel. I gave up, but not anymore. I'm sick and tired of doing what everyone else is doing, or doing what people tell you to do, or what they think you should do. Go to school, work a job, get a good job, or go to school and then go to more school, get a degree and get a professional job, and then what? Pay off debt and student loans all your life? I'm actually a student right now. However, pretty much the only reason I'm going is because Uncle Sam, I'm fortunate enough to have Uncle Sam take care of it. But yeah, I'm pretty much over it. I've been working on myself, and I'm growing my own business. And obviously I'm not telling everyone to do that, but just find what you're passionate about. Find what you enjoy doing, and I guarantee you will never work another day in your life. Whether it's making music, creating art, helping others out. Maybe you enjoy selling stuff. You're a salesman. You don't have to be confined to what everyone else is doing, or what the system or everyone else says is the only way to make it. There are plenty of great examples of people who haven't even graduated, who haven't even gone to college or even graduated from high school, who become millionaires and billionaires. And that's because they had a bigger idea, a bigger plan. I feel that school, although could be beneficial, and I intend on completing my studies, so I have something to fall back on, some experience and something else to build. Not to mention, I will be creating it around my business, so it will be beneficial regardless. But I feel that it's a distraction. In some cases, it's a time-consuming, mind-consuming. You're forced to pour in all this knowledge and retain it for a certain amount of time, and then once you take a test or weeks later, that information is gone. How useful is it? Maybe you'll recall it here and there, or maybe most likely not. So actually, one of the founders and leaders of my group, the group that I'm in, where we all have our own business, he said something that was very inspirational, and it made me think, because I've witnessed it personally. This guy, he went to college for about 3 months, 9 months, something like that, and didn't work out for him. Got out, and now he's made multiple 7 figures in his business. And he said college students are broke because they're only learning, they're not producing. Now, I don't want any of my peers or friends to take offense to it. Hopefully there's some of you I know that have jobs, or even some I know have like 3-4 jobs and go to school, which I think is ridiculous. But most college students I know are broke. And obviously school is expensive, and we're not all fortunate enough to have, someone take care of our schooling, or the government take care of our schooling, or anything like that. But think about it. They're lifetime learners. They're not producing what they're learning, at least not yet. And by the time they do, 3-4 years later, start early and work your way up along those 2 to 4 years, or however plus many. That's my goal, at least, is by the time school is done with, which is about a year and a half from now, I will be closer to where I want to be, and I will create a successful business. I've had luck. I wouldn't say luck. I've already had success because I'm passionate about what I do. I enjoy what I do. I believe in what I do. If you don't have those qualities, if you don't believe, if you don't trust, if you don't enjoy the work that you do, it shouldn't even be called work. Honestly, if you do enjoy it. But if you don't have those qualities, then it is work. You're going to dread it. You're going to be stuck working a 9 to 5. And, I'm not trying to talk down on anybody. The generation before us, most of, my peers' parents and whatnot, they made it. They got in good jobs and everything just off of high school degrees. But they worked their asses off, like labor work, strenuous work. Now, I'm not saying what I do doesn't require hard work. It does. Any business, any form of success is going to take hard work and dedication. And yeah, things aren't just given to you on a golden platter. Maybe for a few individuals, but at least not for the majority of us. So if you want something, you got to go out and get it. You got to work hard. And, if you don't get it the first time, or if you get knocked down, you got to keep going. If you really want it. If you are really passionate about it. Because what I've noticed is that the universe, some people may say God, the universe tests us, and I believe it does so to see if what we're going after is what we truly want. And so it'll test us. It'll set up a boundary, it'll place a roadblock, create diversions and distractions. And it's all a test to see if that's what you truly want in life. And I've been distracted. I've been knocked down. I've tried multiple things. And it hasn't been until recently, in the past year, that I found what I enjoyed doing. And I'm going to keep doing it. And like I said, I've had success. And I'm going to continue that. And I hope that, whoever's watching this does the same. Because this is our life. This is our world. We are the creators of our existence, of our reality. Whether you believe that or not. It's endless opportunities. The sky's the limit. And I'm damn near up here by the sky. Could almost touch it. Maybe if I was on top of that one. See, and even though I'm to the top, there's still progress. There's still higher goals I can set. There's still higher mountains and cliffs I can climb. you know? So don't settle for less. You know, don't be content in the work that you do unless what you do you're passionate about. You know, strive for more, set your goals high, think big. And you can have whatever you want in the world. Go wherever you want. See whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Maybe even build your own custom home down here. So that's my message to you. Try to make this one a little shorter than the last, but I don't know, I'm getting pretty inspirational up here. It must be the elevation or just the fact that I made it up here. So it's my last one, and I'll probably make another one once I make it down to let you all know I made it safely. But thank you for watching, and keep climbing. Find what you're truly passionate about. I'm gonna enjoy this lovely view, hydrate, and make my way back down, knowing that I made it to the top and that I can achieve that again. So Corey Sales here, Las Vegas, Red Rock National Park. I'm out.